MPP. So, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, my brother.
Great.
Good to see you.
Great. And then also Edem Agbana. He currently is a parliamentary candidate for Ketu North. And Edem, how are you?
Roland,
you were in Ho, I think.
Yes, I was in Ho yesterday. Thank you so much. Let me say good morning to you, to my colleagues on the panel, and to everyone watching us, especially the good people of Ketu North. And to use the platform to say a big thank you to the hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians who came out yesterday to demonstrate their fidelity to the Republic by participating in the Enough is Enough demonstration. Indeed, if there is any time in our history where change is imminent, where change is needed by the people of Ghana, it is now. And I'm happy Ghanaians came out in their numbers to show that indeed we want a credible register so that we can all freely participate in the elections and elect John Dramani Mahama.
Well, just hello. It's as if you are making your first submission.
No, that's not my submission. Just
it's not your submission.
Greeting.
Okay, so let's go through what the Electoral Commission has been saying by way of the response to the demonstration. And they issued a letter. I have to say that it was around after midnight. So I don't know why the Electoral Commission. Now they issue statement after midnight, knowing that God sleeps. I'm wondering. Anyway, response to NDC's petition following demonstration on Tuesday, 17th of September 2024. The Electoral Commission has received the petition, and subsequently you go to the third paragraph. They say the Commission is mindful that the voters register is the bedrock of credible, fair and transparent elections. So they assure the NDC and all stakeholders of the EC's avowed commitment to deliver a credible and robust final register ahead of the December 2024 elections. And in the meantime, they say their doors are open. They look forward to engaging the NDC on the concerns. Edem, they are engaging you on your concerns. It's not as if that the call for audit is in place. What do you make of this?
Roland, let me thank the leadership of the NDC for leading Ghanaians to participate in the nationwide demonstration held in all 16 regions yesterday. I was in the Volta Regional Capital Hall, where tens of thousands of people marched to the Electoral Commission's office with a single message that we want a credible register. We want the Electoral Commission to be transparent. We want the Electoral Commission to conduct itself in ways that can increase our confidence in them. Let me say that, Roland, elections are not events. Elections are not events. Elections is not a day's activity. So all the processes leading to December 7th are processes that we must all be very interested in as key stakeholders in our democratic process. And so right from day one, the conduct of the Electoral Commission, the utterances of officials of the Electoral Commission, and their response anytime the NDC raises concerns is a matter of public concern. And so if today, we in the NDC, and in fact, many other Ghanaians, civil society, are of the view that we have no confidence in the Electoral Commission, it is based on a trajectory of events that have happened in the past, right from how many members of the Commission were appointed and the personalities of the people appointed, their background, their history, and all of that. So give me a few minutes to run through that. Apart from the fact that President Akufo-Addo clearly disregarded and disrespected the Constitution of Ghana by appointing known partisan people into the Electoral Commission. Persons like one Apiahini, who was an MPP communicator. We have videos, we have video evidence of him in studios of radio stations actively defending the NPP as an NPP communicator. And yet, he found his way into the Electoral Commission. Dr. Bosman Asari, and I get very surprised when the NPP members, those on social media, go about defending Bosman Asari and make claims that he was never a TESCON patron or what have you. I was a student at the University of Ghana. In fact, Dr. Bosman Asari took me for at least 2 or 3 semesters at the Political Science Department. He was an active member of the NPP Lecturers Caucus on campus, and I can mention many members of that Lecturers Caucus. So at the department, we all could identify the lecturers that were pro-NDC, lecturers that were pro-MPP. The likes of Isaac Owusu-Mensah, who today is the Director of Research at the Presidency. The likes of Dr. Ziblim, who was Deputy Minister of Tourism in the last... Yeah, Isaac Owusu-Mensah.
Who did the research?
The research, yes. He was my lecturer, so he taught me political research. At the time we were at the faculty or we were at the department, Political Science Department, we all knew him as an MPP or a pro-NPP member. And in fact, he was working with a pro-NPP international organization. The likes of Bosman Asari. And many of these lecturers, we all could tell their political affiliations. But some of us expected or thought that given the platform as an electoral commissioner, they were going to act in ways that could exude confidence in them. But they have chosen to be very partisan in the way they do things. Recall that in 2020, Dr. Bosman Asari, a referee, or someone who is supposed to be the referee, sat on radio and publicly said the NDC was a danger to our democracy. Imagine a referee making such claims about one of the political parties. And so those who are defending Bosman Asari, you don't know him better than some of us. So when we say we have always known him as an MPP member, we know what we are talking about. And Apia Hini and many others. Away from the individuals, our demand is that give the people of Ghana a credible register. It was expected of the Electoral Commission to provide the NDC and indeed all political parties with copies of the register before the exhibition exercise. They delayed. It took several efforts by our elections director, Dr. Omani Boama, and the NDC to get the Electoral Commission to provide the register a few hours before the commencement of the exhibition. When they provided the register, we also instituted, knowing the kind of people we were dealing with, we instituted our own internal mechanisms to check the credibility of the register. And then we realized we saw several discrepancies. And these are significant discrepancies. Over 250,000 people who transferred their votes in 2020 got their names again on the 2024 transfer list. And so it is now very difficult for us to tell the actual number of people who transferred their votes in 2024.
If you listen to the Electoral Commission, they are very emphatic and very specific. Those over 200 to 300,000 individuals, and then the evidence thereof that is linking them to that, to them, or those anomalies and discrepancies that you say. Finish them.
Roland, we are calling for a forensic audit of the register because the EC itself admitted and described those errors as mere anomalies. And if indeed you are not part of a certain scheme to rig elections for the ruling party, if indeed the Electoral Commission is not acting as the electoral wing of this failed Bawumia Akufo-Addo government, allow for a forensic audit. The NDC is not asking that our youth wing or our elections directorate will be the institution performing the audit. We are asking that bring in a credible institution, independent body to conduct the forensic audit. What are you running away from? Roland, it is as simple as, let me, for people who may find it difficult to appreciate what the issues are. This is basically an issue about one party in an election finding out several significant errors and discrepancies in the register, and the party is calling for an audit of the register, and the Electoral Commission is running away from the audit. The NPP is asking that they will not allow for the audit to be conducted. What are they running away from? If you are not into rig elections or it was not deliberate, what are you running away from again? Roland, if you have about 15,000 people being transferred, and yet where their vote is being transferred to is not known per the records that you have provided, you think that these are not critical issues, when in the history of this republic we have seen many constituencies where either the NDC or the NPP win with a margin of less than 100, less than 50 as we speak. We've had constituencies where somebody went to parliament winning with a margin of 3 votes. We've had many, as we speak, there are about 56 constituencies that either the NDC or the NPP won or lost with a margin of less than 4,000. And so if you have about 15,000 people being transferred without any record of which constituency or which polling station they are being transferred to, these are very significant issues that we are demanding an audit of. And we are surprised at the posturing of the Electoral Commission in this matter. And look, we want Jane Mensah and the NPP to know. We want the Electoral Commission to know that Ghanaians are interested in a credible register. If indeed you have performed, why are you running away from having a credible register for the people of Ghana to exercise their franchise?
Thank you very much, Roland. Once again, let me take this opportunity to greet the good people of Ghana and the government for its efforts. I think that, as always, the NDC will always run to the media and throw dust into the eyes of the Ghanaian people. You
think organizing a demonstration is throwing dust?
For us as a political party, we want a free and fair election. And no other body than the EC is cloaked by the Constitution of Ghana to give us this election, because at the end of the day, it's the body with the mandate to run elections in this country. The NPP has been here before. I quite remember that in 2013, going to 2016, we had also called for a credible voters register. Of course, in those instances, we made sure that we engaged and provided the data to the EC and the Ghanaian people for them to back our claims. But of course, we are here. The NDC has run to media houses, has gone on the streets and made all kinds of allegations. The EC has a forum where these things can be discussed. And in that particular outfit, it is not just even the NDC that is going to be present, because every political party is affected by the register. The impression should not be created as though only the NDC is going to use that register. It's as important to the MPP, to the PMP, to the CPP and all other political parties that we shall run this election free and fair. But we shall also not be hoodwinked into believing that the NDC at any point in time can spring out of nowhere and come and castigate anybody, make all sorts of allegations, as though this election is about what they want or nothing else. What is the NDC saying? The NDC is saying that the voters register is not credible. What's their basis? They have done a certain audit and they have identified 1 or 2 people, they've identified transfer issues, they've even made an allegation that they have over 200,000 people who have been transferred without regards to how the transfer came about. The EC, as far as we are concerned, has said that. Provide us that data. You and I, just like myself, can only make informed decision as to our opinion on this matter when we know what goes into it. It shouldn't be that at any point in time, of the 23 persons who supposedly have registered with the EC to stand in this election, anybody at all comes with a certain opinion. If we are saying that we are going to go on that tangent, we will never even go into the polls. All that is expected of the NDC is to provide the EC with whatever they've identified, so that the EC, with a self-correcting mechanism, as we have, like the exhibition that we have, the essence of exhibition in any way is for the system to correct itself. You and I know, even in this studio that we are sitting, you and your producers, at every point in time when you come into this studio, you do assessment of what you are going to do. There are challenges you face. I sit here and I see some of your cameramen directing you to adjust and all that. It's all part of the processes. Roland, you've been doing this for how many years? Yes, to each and every day, you self-correct yourself. Why do we create an impression as though the EC is onto something which has never been seen before? In any case, it is not the NPP position to defend the EC or state the EC's position.
It looks like
our position is that we are a party to the upcoming elections.
It looks like that's a posture.
Like I said, as far as we are concerned, we are stakeholders to this process. We are stakeholders because we represent the Ghanaian people as a mandate. And I believe that given the chance going into December 7th, the Ghanaian people are going to vote us back into this government. Then again, it should also not be made as if the NDC's only position going into this election is that they have won. And for that matter, they are going to force the Ghanaian people into anything that they want. I mean, for me, clearly, all these things that have been pointed out by the NDC is to prepare the mind of their base that, you know what, this election, we have to win by hook or crook. And if we don't win, it is because somebody is rigging. The NDC doesn't have a message going to this election. Roland, I'm telling you.
I think you asked
me a question. Allow me to land.
Where we have instances.
No, listen.
Please listen to me. You want to question yourself and answer.
But you have asked me a question. When I'm answering, why are you now holding me down?
Please. Don't harass me, please.
I'm not harassing you.
No, because that's what you're doing.
But I'm saying that you asked me a question.
Isaac J. Hyde, I don't like, if you come and you harass the host, I don't like it. I can replace
you go ahead.
No, please. Let's not create this animosity.
I'm saying that go ahead.
So listen to me. Where you have, before now, instances where the Electoral Commission, based on concerns that had been raised by the EC, by the NDC,
right,
that they have information and credible sources indicating that machines that are used to capture biometric information or data of ordinary voters are missing. The EC then denies and later comes in to concede that rather laptops are those that are missing. And subsequently, you go on the street, you find a gentleman arrested as a hoodlum, but in possession of a device that belongs to the Electoral Commission of Ghana. And subsequently, the information is a bit touchy and not consistent from the same Electoral Commission. Appointments that have been made over the period. It creates the level of trust and animosity that has gotten us where we are today. Is that not the case?
Roland, what are the issues that the NDC has presented to us? The NDC is saying that they need the voters register to be verified. In other words, they are trying to say that there has to be a forensic audit because they have noted discrepancies in the voters register. They also say that the exhibition that the voters register or the EC is doing is not enough for them. The issue about, a biometric device, which I believe that is an issue that came about, and the EC has addressed that. In any case, all the things that the NDC is saying, the EC has not denied that it is not looking into it. The EC says that we have a platform. In any case, like I said, it should not be in the position of the EC to address each and every political party independently. Because at the end of the day, when you do so, you are blinding other parties who are stakeholders to the elections. And so there's a forum. And this forum is the IPAC. IPAC is a platform where all the political parties come together. The impression being created to the Ghanaian people is that the NDC doesn't have any platform. The only thing they can do is to go onto the media and make all the noise they are doing. The EC has a platform where each and every political party comes to sit with the EC, raises issues for address. That aside, the EC says that they have had a meeting with the NDC. In the said meeting, the NDC made allegations or identified certain loopholes in the supposed register. The NDC says that we are equally aware of some of these issues you have raised. The NDC provided the EC with a pen drive, claiming that they need a copy of the register. The EC says that within the processes, that copy will be given to you. That notwithstanding, all the issues that you have identified, make it available to us within a week. Within 1 week, we are going to make sure that we give you feedback. 3 days, NDC and all their people have been going about. None of these things had been provided to the EC as at the time of the press conference. You and I listened to the press conference. At the time of the press conference of the EC, the NDC had not provided the details of whatever they claim they have found in the register. In 2012 and 2016, when NPP was raising issues about the register, we went across the whole country and made sure that we identified very people who we claim have issues. We even went to the extent of going to Togo to make sure that we have identified people who are in the Togolese register and have been found in the Ghanaian register. Look at the difference between this and what the NDC is saying. They are just out there making all the noise, trying to galvanize their base in an election where they see that clearly they are losing. And I was trying to draw your attention to something. I'm telling you, I've been to the Upper East region. I've been to Talensi, I've been to Pusiga, I've been to Binduri. And I've gone across this country and I've seen what is coming to happen. And the NDC is very much aware of what is coming to happen. They are only trying to save their campaign. It is something which is sinking. And the earlier the NDC people accept that this is an election that is lost, the better it is for them. Yes. No amount of noise is going to save them in this election.
In 2015, there are concerns that had been raised by the MPP.
Yes.
And of course, there was IPAC.
Yes.
But it still went about, held press conferences, went about with let my vote count demonstrations, etc. They even had the IEA, because IEA then was a fora for everybody else. So of course, the NDC decided not to participate in some of those fora as well. But after which the NDC, based on their concerns, in response to the MPP's issues, had a position that they want the EC to be allowed to work. We've come to this point where the IEA at the time also says that the cost implications of auditing the existing voters register, of compiling a new register, should not take away from steps to provide a credible and acceptable register for the 2016 election. So we've come to full circle. You look at the various positions before and today, the individuals involved, the Electoral Commission chair who once headed the IEA, her position today and her position then, and where we are today, looking at the discrepancies that have been noticed. What do you make of it?
Is it not sad?
What is sad?
I mean, the situation you just painted, it tells you that we are not sincere people. And it's one of the reasons why we are not developing as a country. We lie to ourselves. The position of I today was the position of the NDC yesterday. The position of them today was the position of the MPP yesterday. So why must they? That's why I like the team they gave to their demonstration. Enough is enough. Enough of the NDC, enough of the MPP. Let's go for the independent candidate. And you see, the very position Hyde espoused is the more reason why there must be an independent audit of the electoral register.
How?
We are talking about IPAC. What is IPAC? Inter-Party Advisory Committee. My candidate, Alan Chamante, is contesting as an independent candidate. Where does he fit in this equation?
In the narrative.
In the narrative.
In the advocacy.
In the advocacy. I mean, and make no mistake, nobody must arrogate to themselves that this election is between the NDC and the MPP. You can be jubilating over some concocted, as it were, electoral research. That's your own a cup of tea. But at the end of the day, December 7th will show, look, the Electoral Commission's own admission of the fact that there has been some illegalities perpetrated in the album or the voter register should have ended this matter. We have Pusiga to deal with. Bosman Asare, I heard him admit that indeed there has been illegal transfers. Then what else are you looking for? So you ask yourself a simple question. If the NDC had not identified that, would the Electoral Commission have come back to us to say that, yes, per our own checks, there has been illegal transfers? Now, come on, they should give us a break. The moment Bosman Asare admitted that indeed there has been illegal transfer, the Electoral Commission, per common sense, should have called a stakeholders meeting and said, look, where we have gotten to, we have to conduct a forensic audit. That would have put this matter to rest. But this business of we are independent, no, it doesn't work like that. You have even gone ahead to arrest someone, the person has been granted bail. It means that there has been fraud perpetrated. So I don't see why you must still wait on the National Democratic Congress to give you further and better particulars. They have already proven their case. And my candidate, Alan, believes that there has to be a forensic audit. Because we cannot be going around the entire country, wooing a lot of voters, and at the end of the day, somebody sits somewhere and manipulate the system against the will of the people. The Electoral Commission's own statement they issued yesterday night is an ample testimony that the credibility of the voter register is the bedrock of a successful election. That is being questioned. So how do you deal with that? Call in an independent institution. After all, when we went to the Supreme Court during the electoral election petition, the Supreme Court could have self-audited the pink sheet. What did they do? They called in an independent institution, KPMG. Was that not the case? So what is wrong with calling in an independent institution to come and help in your situation? So for me, it's much ado about that. The Electoral Commission must learn from its own history, must go back and do what is right. Because elections, there are so much at stake.
Mr. Owusu,
yes.
If you take how the outputs,
yes,
by way of supervision management of the current management of the Electoral Commission,
yes,
i.e. all those who have been appointed over the period, Madam Jim Mensah, Bosman Asare, what their principles were, etc. How would you describe it?
Honestly, I am not too much into the backgrounds of people, whether they are coming from. Because at the end of the day, the electoral commission is a vote. So once the person votes, it means the person is trying an independent person. But your actions and inactions will show whether or not you'll be a neutral person. From what is going on, the entrenched position, especially, and yesterday I was very surprised to learn from the organizer of the National New Patriotic Party that they are not going to allow for an independent. That was for me a reckless statement. That you are not going to allow for
Henry Nabwache.
Yes.
But he's noted for such.
But why would you not allow for an independent independent institution to audit a register so that we would get a credible register and a credible election? Are you impeding or stampeding a credible election? No, it must be in the interest of the New Patriotic Party that a credible election is held. After all, one will win, one will lose, and I'm so clear in my mind that Alan Kojo Chemati will win these elections. So why are you stampeding or impeding that process? You understand? The decision by the president to appoint someone like Apiahene, if I were him, I wouldn't do it. Because first, it gives the commission a bad name. You understand? A non-MPP person serving on...
you are saying by principle? By
principle. Because there is no law. As if you look at the qualification of any member of a commissioner, it does not state whether or not that person must not belong to a political party. And these are matters that our constitutional review body must go into it so that it saves all of us from these troubles. But, I mean, it's something that you know that when you appoint a non-MPP person, it will create a problem. You understand? Especially where illegal transfers have been identified. Now, if you go to where these things are taking place, don't take it for a joke. The last election in Pusiga, the difference between the MPP and the NDC was 63 votes. And so if you are learning that illegal transfers are taking place from Tamale South and Sanarigu to Pusiga, then what will be your assumption or conclusion? It should make up for that gap. Now, when the BVD machines got missing, where was it found? Was it all in Sawam? If you go and check in Sawam Adwajiri, the difference between the MPP and NDC has reduced from somewhere 12,000 to 3,000. So if I come and find a BVD machine in that constituency, then what is the perception? And nobody can convince me that it cannot be used for anything else. So the simple thing you do is that you audit the voter register, and not just the voter register, because we have a concern with the IT system itself. How is
movement for change?
Yeah, we have a huge problem with that.
Why?
Because we believe from our own internal arrangement and from our investigations that it is very easy to enter the EI.
It is porous?
Very porous. Very porous. So come and let us all audit and certify ourselves that in this election, the EC's own voter register and the IT system are robust, as the EC has been telling us all this while. But if you come to us and tell us that even in 2016, there were animals and trees in there, when animals and trees were compiled by yourself and given to us, then what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So that is what we are saying.
All right. So whether we got also some information. There are personalities around who are ordinary voters who are also raising issues, and they are not political, they're just normal voters. So we got a number of instances like that. I'll put somebody on the line. He's called Mark. Not his full name because of protection and confidentiality purposes. And Mark will tell us a very, I won't say it's a strange experience, but fits into why the advocacy is that the Electoral Commission should perhaps accede to some of these demands so that everybody will sit around the table or not, if that should be a question. Mark, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay. I know that you are a voter, but you're speaking on behalf of your wife. Is that not the case?
Yes, please.
And you drew my attention to your experiences when the register was displayed. Is that not it?
That's right.
Okay, so you sent me the screenshot. So I've been able to blur the name, at least for now, even though not necessarily the identification number, but it's for good reason. Tell me your story.
Okay, what really happened is this. My wife went to the polling station to, during the verification exercise. And along the line, she noticed that her name disappeared from the register. They couldn't trace it. So when she came back home, I decided to, go through the internet and check through the code that they gave. So upon checking, we noticed that, the same ID card number displayed a name, called Asia Beniwa. The same ID, voter's ID number, displayed the name Asia Beniwa. Age 28, gender female, and then the polling station number is having the code F012902 DA Primary School, Betwase, New Adubiate in Ashanti region. But she registered at Ashama Committee 22 Annex. So this is the experience and this is the challenge.
Okay.
So all it means is that she cannot even vote at this moment. She voted 2020 elections.
So she's not a first-time voter.
She's not a first-time voter.
She has voted before, and it's the same polling station or area, right?
Yeah, the same polling station, and the polling station number is 3261407. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the polling station number is 3261407.
Okay.
And the voter's identification number is 100100828. That's the ID number.
So wait, Mark, your wife's, is it center number or voter's ID number has been given to somebody else?
Yes, that is what it
And then more so, the location has been changed.
The location has been changed, the police station, the region changed from Ashama to Ashanti region.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark, for some of these experiences. And
Okay.
so these are some of the issues, right?
I mean, yes.
And we have a number of them. I could go on and
Roland, so all these issues.
Kofi Kapito also has.
It has a similar issue.
Roland, even in the Volta region, our deputy regional secretary, Edgar Bright, could not find his name in the register. And this is somebody who voted in 2020, somebody who used the same ID card to contest party position in 2022 and has been using this ID card all this while. And so we have noticed grave discrepancies in the register. So why is the Electoral Commission afraid of an audit? Roland, and to my surprise, and look, the NPP and the Electoral Commission daily, they keep exposing themselves. The national organizer of the NPP, your boss, wrote on his Facebook wall yesterday that the NPP will resist any attempt to have the register audited.
But somebody said that's their position. They're entitled to their position.
No, if the Electoral Commission is an independent body, is it the NPP that would determine whether or not the concerns of one of the other parties in the elections to have a register audited, forensic audit by an independent person? It is not as if we are sending the NDC to go and audit the register. If you know that you are not in any secret marriage where you are conniving to rig the elections, and so you come and ridiculously make statements like we win the election on strategy, and this is their strategy. We have exposed you, and we have exposed you and given you 7 or more reasons why the register must be audited, and you are running away from the audit. Now, the Electoral Commission itself admitted that there are problems with the register. So before you produce a final register, have the register audited. They are credible institutions, and we are not asking that we want to conduct the audit for you. So why are they running away from the audit if indeed they don't want to rig the elections for the NPP? And for me, in all of these things, my message is to the Peace Council and the so-called advocates for peace.
Why?
Roland, peace is an outcome of the various processes. The NDC will not sit down and say, in the name of peace, we will just sit aloof and watch the Electoral Commission misbehave and attempt rigging the election. We will resist it. And so if you are calling for peace, don't be hypocrites. Be interested in calling for the register to be audited. Be interested in having a credible register. That is the only way by which the other parties in the election will have confidence in the process going forward. Now you sit here and you tell us that the NDC doesn't have a message. My goodness. Look at this failed government. You're talking about message. What is your message? That you will cancel 10% betting tax, something you introduced and has defended all this while. Is that not hypocrisy? Is that not a shame? That something that you introduced, that you call that your message? What is your message? That you cancel e-levy. When you introduced e-levy and we opposed it, you sat on this platform and defended it and said it was a panacea for economic growth. Today, you call that your message and you talk about NDC losing these elections. Which research are you even speaking to? Even your own presidency. Your manipulated research that you did could not even declare a victory for you. But they conducted their own research, led by Dr. Isaac Ozu-Mensah, my former lecturer. And even in that research, they are predicting a tie between the two parties. I mean, while it is that is even your own research. We are not even putting out.
The presidency's research.
Yes, it's out all over. Yesterday, many of your sister stations have discussed it. And you're talking about the party losing the election.
For me.
Please, Roland, our message is clear. Our message is simple, that we are relentless in our efforts to get a credible register. And Jane Mensah, who today is behaving like the NPP's director of election, the Electoral Commission should stop behaving like a wing of the NPP and provide Ghanaians with a credible register. If indeed you have performed, why will your national organizer, and look, let the executives of the NPP, including Anabi, who sit on social media and go into the media and throw some of those tantrums, make ridiculous statements that they will resist. Who are you? When things become tough, Nanabi, what can you even do? Look, we are what? All we want is a credible register. The NPP cannot hide behind the Electoral Commission to prevent Ghanaians from getting a register. You, Nanabi, if you are a man, stand up and say that you are leading a demonstration against the NDC for demanding a credible register. What can he even do? These people believe that it's not a threat. But they are issuing threats. They will resist. They will do this. Why you think that you can hide behind the institutions of state to misbehave? We are only asking for a credible register. If you have performed, make sure we get a credible register, and you will see that your government cannot even get 30%.
Is the position of the national organizer?
That's their national organizer. So if he has spoken, that is your position.
The NDC must understand something.
That's
this republic is for Ghanaians and not NDC.
Okay.
We are not.
Adam, please allow.
We are men as much as they are.
When you were talking, he didn't. Adam, please.
We have balls as much as they have.
You have what?
We have balls as much as they have.
You have balls just as
if
the
you
NDC
cut
has.
us, there will be blood. If we cut you, there will be blood. And that notice must be served to everybody. This election, we shall go into it prepared. We shall go into it with our message. We shall go into it and preach to the Ghanaian people as to what we have done with the mandate that they've given us, what we seek to do with the new presidential candidates we are presenting to the Ghanaian people. And the record must be made clear that John Dramani Mahama was a vice president, had the opportunity to understudy somebody, became a president, and still failed. We have a presidential candidate that has gotten the opportunity to understudy Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. For us as an administration, we admit where our flaws have been. And we have made it a point from our manifesto and our preaching to the Ghanaian people that given the mandate, these are the pointers and these are the issues we are going to address, and these are the messages that we are sending to people that are given the mandate, this is what we are going to do. But it should not be made for the NPP to believe, for the NDC to believe that they can intimidate anybody in this country. I stand with my national organizer and I say that the EC is clothed with the powers and the ability to audit the register. In any case, before you have a final register, it goes through phases. We do not even have a final register. The EC has done an exhibition. The purpose of the exhibition, just like the person who you called on set, is for us to identify some of these anomalies. And at the end of the day, if the essence of the exhibition is for you to correct, that is why you even do, adverts and direct people to go to their centers and go and check. In any case, if there is no cause, why do you have to even put in place a self-correcting mechanism? And that is the position of the EC. The NPP's position is that as far as we are concerned, the EC is closed with the mandate and is available to do that job. we are not ready for any third party to come and take that opportunity, that responsibility. And in doing so, now they've shifted from the issues, and they are now calling into question the credibility of some of the commissioners. Let me tell the NDC that Article 44 of the Constitution of Ghana, which is the supreme law of this country, has given us the criteria by which a person qualifies to be a commissioner. Anything apart from that, if the NDC alleges, they should go to court. And this is not the time that these people have been, appointed onto this position. In any case, why has the NDC sat down all this while, waited for election time for them to come and be throwing these tantrums? The impression they create is as though, they are going to this election with some, chickens and men who do not know what they are about. If the NDC bring 100, we'll bring 1,000. If they bring 1,000, we'll bring 1,000,000. And that message must go to them. The impression that it creates is that this election is like, it's a do or die affair. It is either them or nothing else. For us, we are ready to win this election. And the Ghanaian people will determine the outcome of this election. Let it also be said, this is the same NDC that went to court and told the Ghanaian people an election had been rigged in the NPP's favor. The Supreme Court asked that, provide evidence to the effect. Up to today, we are waiting for the NDC to even collect their results, not to talk of even coming to the Supreme Court, provide evidence to say. We sat in this country for the NDC to come and tell us that they are in a comfortable lead as far as they are concerned. Their supporters should move onto the streets of Accra. At the end of the day, what came out of it? So we know the people that we are dealing with. In any case, the NPP, just like any other political party, has a stake in this election. Our position on this matter is as free, just as you also have a platform to say. You say you want a credible register. Yes. We also say, we agree with you. Perhaps your divergent position is that you want a third party to come and do it. We say that as far as we are concerned, the EC has the power and the ability to do so. And the EC has also intimated that it is already in the process to do so. You have even been asked, in any case, make the evidence available to the Ghanaian people. If not for if not for noise making and just going about and throwing tantrums and just throwing things in the, without providing evidence, and you have been noted for that. So let it not be created that an impression should not be created that the NPP will want you people to do what you want to do.
So once you agree that there has to be a credible register, then the matter should end. And I don't think anybody must argue that there shouldn't be a credible register. You see, beyond this credible register, there are data protection issues. Look, I sit in my house, and on the 5th of September 2024, all of a sudden I received a text message from Dr. Baumia's campaign.
You know him, no? Is he not he's your friend?
No, we are not friends in this matter. We are friends on this issue.
What message did you receive?
But you haven't received one from your mama?
No, I haven't. Dear Solomon.
Why no people who are?
Thank you so much for coming out in numbers to show your love and support. This is an indictment to my person. How did I come out to show support to you?
Was it a generic message? It's how did it to you?
This is my message. You can project it. Yeah. This is serious.
Give me 30 seconds.
No, please go ahead.
That
can you give me a screenshot of this?
I'll give you.
What's your number?
026.
Continue talking. Do a screenshot.
You understand? So,
but your mama.
How? No. You see, you let me speak. Yeah,
let's speak.
So your concern is
how did he get my number? How did he know that I came out to cheer him on? How did he know that I support him? For him to have sent me this message. I had this message. My wife had it.
Maybe it's a mass message.
How? Where? Who gave that permission? And this is the same issue that.
So you are raising data protection.
So if the NPP
an invasion of privacy.
So if they have this data, it must tell you something that probably they have access to the EC data, and that is why we must take it very, very serious.
Roland, there's an information I want to give.
Where's the screenshot?
Roland, I want to
your number is what?
Roland,
I think that you need to understand something.
Please off their mics. They are not up for discussion. Off their mics. 026 224.
Allow us to give you an information.
2297 026. Okay, Adam, you can speak.
So Roland.
Okay.
All the political parties
put your number
have various ways by which they get the data.
Send it to Shadrach.
Roland, I want us to pay attention to something very important. All the political parties have various ways.
Only 3 minutes.
3 minutes. They have various ways by which we gather data of voters, electorates, and then you can send them this mass messages.
So you also send the bulk messages?
I do send bulk messages.
So you are not part of Solomon who is complaining?
No. This is the point. Our issue, our concern is that at the time of registration, the NPP agents at the centers did not even collect the telephone numbers of those who registered newly. But the moment you register today, by evening or the following morning, you receive a message from Dr. Baumia thanking you as a new voter. You recall, during the limited registration, I registered over 6,000 people within my constituency during the limited registration. I saw in my constituency the NPP agent. In fact, I recall a situation where one of my executives came with his son. The son did not give his details to the NPP agent at the registration center, but by the following morning, he had gotten a text message from Dr. Baumia, and that is why we are saying that it is clear, it is obvious. And if the electoral commission, you gave me 3 minutes. So if the electoral commission, if the electoral commission disagrees, I'm telling you that. If the electoral, but John Mahama, you see, Roland, allow me to. Yes. No, my 3 minutes.
This nearly created a problem between me and my wife. When I got the message,
that Baumia message,
I'm telling you,
hey, Solomon.
I am telling you, Roland, my wife told me that, since when did you go back to the MPP? I said, see, what Dr. Baumia has sent you. That
so when your wife saw this and saw that it was coming from Dr. Baumia,
my marriage nearly collapsed. So
because she knows that you are with Alan.
So until she had this,
your loyalty.
You understand? So my question is, where did she? This group get this
freshly registered voter.
Lawyer Nana Osei in Kumasi, who is celebrating his birthday today, also receives them
new messages. That's what we're talking about.
Roland.
You understand? But happy birthday, Lawyer Osei. May God bless you. So the point is that
Roland, I have shared with you.
Let him land.
The point is that
the two of you are being
the two of them they have our data.
You are just.
And as where they got the data,
we must investigate.
It could be coming from the electoral commission who have shared all our data with the new patriotic party, for which reason they go about sending bulk messages to us. And this can be sealed, but in this country sometimes
these are privacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with this.
I'm saying that Roland, no, I think you are not being fair to me. I have sent you evidence of John Mahama sending messages to the Ghanaian people. He has sent a message. So Roland, who told you that? For every registration center, the NPP, the NDC has representatives. If your agents have failed and you didn't train them well and they didn't have the capacity to take numbers of people who have been registered, don't come and blame the NPP. This tells you the capacity of the NPP. In any case, for every election that we have run, I have sent you the evidence of John Mahama. This is a message. This is a message which was sent by John Mahama to a person at Sege when he recently visited there. He said, "Dear chiefs and people of Sege, I will be in your constituency."
Support during my campaign tour of the Vote for Change to Reset Ghana.
That is different from.
And I sent you the message.
That is different from promptly receiving a message from Baumia as soon as you register.
All right, let me speak to
Mahama know that the person is
Kojo, good morning.
How did Mahama know that the person is
Kojo, good morning.
How did John Mahama know that the person is
Do we have Kojo on the line? Please, Kojo, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, and you drew my attention. Please, what is your case when you went to the station during the period of the exhibition of the voters register?
Yeah, my vote has been transferred from my polling station to the district polling station when I have not initiated any such transfers. And so I think that the audit issue is valid and must come on. NPP should just leave EC to defend themselves. They are also parties to the election. And what I think is that, yes, they may disagree with the position of the opposition party, but they should let those who are being called to do the proper thing speak for themselves. And so the audit is necessary and must come on.
Okay. Now, did you go and check at your initial station?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't find your name there?
Yes, it's been transferred. Without my consent.
But that is the essence.
No, but transfers. And you are not a first-time voter, are you?
It's not supported by 200,000 transfers.
Please. Oh, you are not a first-time voter, Kojo?
Not at all, I am not.
Can you imagine?
It's not a first-time voter.
There's clearly a criminal intent.
But fraud pursues everything. Even if it was one. Even if it was one.
Okay, hold on.
Criminal intent.
Shadrach, I've given you a number. A number. Please call that number for me. All right. Okay, gentlemen. Please, your mics are off.
There is
I'm the only one who has
intent.
an audible. Yeah, Kojo, thank you very much. I'm the only one who has an audible mic. Right. So after Solomon, I move to the next.
That's okay.
Now, you made an intervention.
Yes.
So I give you an extra 2 minutes to conclude.
So my intervention is that, like I said, all of us as candidates, we do find ways of getting data to send messages to people. But in this case, what I am saying, not alleging, is the fact that even when a newly registered voter during the recently concluded limited registration did not give his or her number to the NPP agent, you promptly receive a message from Dr. Bawumia right after registering.
But he says that
which clearly, no. And I'm telling you that with John Mohammed's own, and like all of us, we have various ways. For example, I recently wrote to secondary schools within my constituency asking for the data, telephone numbers of students that qualified and are registered voters. When they give me that data and I send them messages, that is not the same as immediately you register, you receive a message from Dr. Bawumia.
Okay,
clearly the EC is conniving, the EC is conniving with the MPP. Lastly, why is the MPP saying that we cannot allow a third party to come and do an independent audit when the EC's data currently is being managed by a third party? Yes. See the hypocrisy, the double standard with which they are working with.
Service providers,
shameless people. We have caught you. We have exposed you.
TV3, with all its functionalities, you know how sensitive installations you have. Don't you rely on third parties to provide you certain services? Does that mean that you've earnestly given out your management system? That's your database management system. If you have a service provider, it does not necessarily mean that you offset that responsibility to a third party. What are you talking about? But let me state this clearly.
Let me teach you.
If you want to know how robust, Roland, I think that you should pay attention to me. If you want to know how robust MPP's internal election management mechanism is, look at how consistently. I'm coming. I'm giving you. I'm pointing to a certain position.
Is it relation to that?
Yes. Look at how consistently we've been able to compile our results ahead of even the EC and giving our results. The NDC is doing what they've been doing all the time. Up to today, 2020 elections results, they've not even been able to collate it. And at the end of the day, our ability, no, pay attention, our ability to collate our results and give it ahead of time is the same mechanism we have in place to make sure that at every registration center we are able to get whoever is registered, because irrespective of who you are, whether you are NDC or you are MPP, as soon as you get to the registration center, we get your data and make sure that I'm saying that if the NDC has failed,
they don't have collated results.
But has the NDC been able to provide the results at the Supreme Court? You are accountable to the Ghanaian people, and that is why you couldn't provide it when you went to court. So what are you saying? I'm saying that our capacity to collect our results is manifested in our ability to take the data of any first-time voter who comes to the registration center. If you have failed to do so, blame yourself.
Oliver George says, Roland, tell Adam, I'm in the Eastern region, but Mahama sent me a message after he saw in the voter region. Where did he get my data from?
So now data so my explanation I have given.
All right, and then I have this one from Richmond.
So you see what
I have this one from Richmond. Please, their mic should be off. I have this one from Richmond Roxon. Richmond Roxon says, and he's a legal practitioner though. Richmond Roxon.
Let's listen to him.
Lawyer Richmond Roxon says, I have petitioned the Data Protection Commission to investigate the potential data protection breaches.
Absolutely.
As I have not given, neither have I authorized any institution to share my personal data with
This is serious.
Dr. Bawumia or his team. The way the message is tailored, especially with my name and personalized, and is very consistent across board, suggests that the information emanated from the Electoral Commission. When I registered in 2020, I didn't share with any individual. The messages also are personalized and are blasted across board to thousands of people in various locations across the country. I take strong exception to this, and I will follow this through. Roland. And he says, Dear Gilbert, join me on Friday when the possibility bus arrives. Did you get that one too? Your wife didn't come.
No. And let me state it.
No. I have read your message. I've read Adam.
Why are you emphasizing on Dr. Bawumia? I'm saying that
I've read. To be sincere, I've read.
Have equally provided evidence.
I have read.
Also sending messages to people.
I have read.
Questioning that.
I have read. I read this message, and it's the same message.
Which even has a name.
The chiefs and people of Sege, is that not
Not
the
just
next
that
one?
one.
There are two
Okay. Not just that one.
And then,
I provided you with one.
wait.
Where it says,
Dear chiefs and people,
The more reason why the country must do away with this MPP and NDC.
This is John
telling
Mahama.
you that.
Dear Afari Courage,
The electoral commission is
see,
giving data to
over the last 8 years, we have faced high cost of living, a weak cedi, excessive borrowing, and unbridled corruption. With you, the NDC can reset any country and build the country we want. Sincerely, John Mahama. Yes, I've read.
This is from John Mahama.
So it
Roland, the electoral
please
commission,
off their
the
mics.
electoral commission is giving data,
Of their mics.
You see,
and we have
you can
evidence.
pick and choose. John Dramani
My data is with the MPP, and they are using it
It has
anyhow.
been
We have
inefficient. It
evidence.
does not mean that somebody must be held liable for it.
Okay, gentlemen. Do I have your ears now?
Yes.
Isaac,
Thank you, my brother.
MP candidate.
They say they are going to
Tell them. Do I have your ears now?
Oh,
All right.
I'm only telling
Okay,
you
it's okay. Sorry, I didn't say talk. Hey.
Okay, I thought you asked.
No, it's not a question. So I received this one from Chairman Prosper. He says, my daughter Portia received the same message from Dr. Mohammed just after registering.
Her number. Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
mean.
okay.
Tell me without giving her number. I'm
That is
saying
the
that
point.
if you have been, you have shown time and
telling you
again
that.
you are incompetent when it comes to collecting results. So I'm not surprised you are not even able to get data of people who are coming to register.
Don't be
The
serious.
MPP is able to do that.
Don't be
So what I say, I have been, Roland, I have met you at the registration center before. If you go to the former EC headquarters at Accra Central at Ridge, if you go to the EC office at Ridge, when you go there, MPP agents are scavenging everywhere to make sure that each and every person that is coming to register. As for Afranfranco, I'm not surprised. I'm saying that Afranfranco, they are not even done auditing the people on their pages. Today, as I speak to you, they are still calling into question the credibility of people on their WhatsApp pages. So Afranfranco, they will not even pay attention to them. They are not even done. The credibility of the WhatsApp pages. Even as I yesterday evening, they were making allegations at people who they claim my
We are pushing them because they're coming from them. Not because
They were created with your rib.
we took the original ideals and principles of the NPP and we now said Nana People's Party, so they can deal with that. No. But what I'm saying is that for the new patriotic party to send a message directly to me, when their candidate visited Okankwe South, it means they have gotten my data from the Electoral Commission.
And you have a problem.
And I have a problem with that. In fact, it's a data protection issue.
All right.
My point is that
1.5 minutes, sir.
my point, and it's important for listeners.
Shadrach, please do the last one I gave you, please.
It's important for Hyde to get the distinction of the issues. Stop making noise and listen. We are saying that there is a situation where voters, newly registered voters, who did not, and I'm repeating, who did not give their contacts to NPP,
agents,
neither NPP or NDC agents, immediately after they are done registering, they get a prompt message from Dr. Baumia, which means that the EC's data system may be linked to that of the NPP. And we have several cases. And that's what I'm saying, that I can say that I'm telling the Electoral Commission, we know that they share their data with the NPP. That is different from the NDC or any other candidate getting data several years or after the process. We are saying that the NPP is receiving data from the Electoral Commission, and someone sent you a message that his daughter registered, his daughter Portia registered, even without giving her data to the NPP agent at the station, promptly received a text message from Dr. Baumia, and you want to tell me that the NPP is not benefiting from privileged information from the EC? That position is different from what you are saying.
You gave me a platform to speak. Allow me to make my point. My position has been consistent. I'm saying that for each and every election, for us as NPP, we are ready to go into it with everything and anything based on issues in order for us to win this election. I've met you at a registration center before. When you come to a particular registration center, we go through rigorous training and make sure that as much as possible, any person coming to the registration center to register, we take the person's details.
But not all. We are saying,
and at the end of the day, if the NPP have been able to successfully gather enough data and send specific messages to people, why are you not talking about his interjections? He spoke and I didn't interject. So why are you watching him, let him continue? Because at the end of the day, if we continue like this, then we are not going to end the program. There's no way Adam is going to speak on this platform. Because at every point in time, he makes a statement. I'll interject him. Why do I sit down and watch him speak without any interjection? Yet you want him to make a point. And I'm saying that I've also provided evidence. You sat on this platform. I've provided evidence to the effect that John Dramani Mahama is also sending messages.
You are completely
so that when he benefits John Dramani Mahama, he's more human than anybody in this country. John Dramani Mahama more human than any other person in this country. We are going to reach this election with every equal footing. I'm saying that the NPP has demonstrated capacity to gather data, has demonstrated capacity to collect results. Which the NDC has failed to do. For us, this is not surprising because the NDC has been up to today not been able to compare the results. But I'm getting disappointed. I'm saying that at every point in time, when Adam is speaking, I have been quiet. If you want us to continue on this tangent, then let's go on.
No, they are two.
Yes, then let's go on.
It's not. I'm teaching him
because Adam is not speaking on this platform again. Because at any point in time, he makes a statement.
All right, then let me speak.
Joseph says, "I'm Joseph Korte. I'm watching. I got a prompt message from Dr. Baumia. Well, it's also
immediately after registering. When you don't give your contact to
and I'm saying that I've provided evidence to the effect that John Dramani Mahama is also sending messages. Mohammed doesn't send if he has failed because
Mohammed never sent.
Whose fault is it? If he sends it 3 days later and somebody can send it within an hour, it's about competence. It's about the person's ability to get the job done.
Very good.
As for the people who are not even able to, who are not even sure their members of WhatsApp platform, I don't even pay attention to them. I'm saying that even after yesterday, Afro people are fighting on their pages, challenging the credibility of their members on pages. Today they are talking about national.
What the NDC is asking for,
give us a break.
Forensic audit of
I'm saying that give us a break. What are you talking about?
I don't know reasons.
What are you hiding your face?
You are chasing
spokesperson for the EC. All right.
Yes, seriously. Senior,
his name is even an impersonation.
Let's go on.
The way you are disturbing. Thank you very much.
You are closing it?
Yeah, I'm closing.
There is NAPCO to be dealt with.
Very important.
But let me say something. He made mention. He made reference to
NAPCO. They have petitioned the National Peace Council to intervene. They are owed 9 months. Scenarios.
Yes. So clearly, this is one of the reasons why Dr. Mahmoud Mahmoud NAPCO was expected every month. Can you imagine 2 billion cities being given to the business community in this country? What you can do? You have no idea. Yeah, they said they claim they engaged 100,000. I have petitioned what's the name? The right information. I want to get the full list of the 100,000. It is one of the scandals that after 2025 it will be exposed. I can bet my last person that the 100,000 they claim they were paying is a palpable falsehood. They organized some 10,000 people and inflated it to 100,000, and they said they were paying them every month.
It's not true that.
How can it be true? How can it? Well, I mean, I have called for the data. So clearly, because it was not thought through well, because there was no actionable plans to it, that is why you have the youth who are now in the house, not having anything to do. Now, they said after the NAPCO, you would either be maintained in an institution that you were working, or you'll be sent back to school, or you'll be given some working capital to start your business. None of it has happened, and that is why the young ones are so furious with this administration, particularly the vice president, for leading them astray. And here, let me call on the NAPCO personnel that you can only have your protection with a movement for change. It is not going to happen with the NPP. Neither is it going to happen with the NDC. The only institution or the only individual who is bent on solving the youth unemployment by giving you 10-point agenda to deal comprehensively with it is Alan Chemanti. That's why by next month he's launching that platform, digital platform, to contain 3 million people, each one with his what you call CV, so that when he comes to office, not that he's going to look for people to employ.
Roland,
we engage you.
Roland, we in the NDC stand in solidarity with the NAPCO trainees, and it is sad that you work so hard and the government cannot find money to pay your allowances. Some are even in arrears of about 13 months and more.
We've had 16 months.
And some 16 months. And so many of them are demanding for their allowance. It would have been a bit more tolerable if indeed by the government's actions, indeed they show that the government does not have money. But in this case, if you have a government that can look for $58 million and push into a useless project like the National Cathedral, which has become a swimming pool for the demonstrators. Yesterday, some jumped inside, and that shows the uselessness of this government, because for a government that can put $58 million into that, but cannot find money to pay NAPCO arrears. But what is even more interesting, Roland, is the fact that 25th August, Dr. Bawumia promised paying them. Dr. Bawumia promised them. So Dr. Bawumia promised paying them. No, where is the money?
Using the money for campaign.
Dr. Bawumia promised them.
We had in this country, prior to the coming of NAPCO, one of the biggest challenges we had in this country as a youth is experience. Almost every work somebody is looking for has been to provide a certain.
That was the reason for NAPCO.
The essence of NAPCO is for people to go through 3 years of
but unemployment rate is now 14.7%.
Look at this.
Unemployment rate is now 14.7%.
The finance minister.
Unemployment rate is now 14.7%. That is where you are justifying this.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you
for watching.
It's a president who have worked for 3 years.
Step into the world of Dewa 539 for your chance to win big with Dewa Direct and Dewa Chop Money. No, I'm going for it. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Medi ko bi ni tin na awuram. Krache, wei, ana nananom so mu hia. Kenkan na hwe.
Utra wenya broken heart.
Ai,
Akoko ya bounce ni visa.
Nwanwa ho.
92 African Cup just ya ho.
Ai.
Nana, ntimi nye ho hwe mame.
Hwe no kire.
Aha ye ni adian.
Making money shouldn't be this hard. Just reload and win cash in the Telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning in Telecel More Money promo. Dial *500# or opt in on the Telecel Play app for free. Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Wow, bro!